We are staying in our own lane, minding our business, taking our water and chilling. Not just chilling. Yes, we are working hard, but we're just deciding that, you know what, let's focus. Let's focus, because part of staying in your lane is being laser focused and saying that, you know what, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to achieve. And this is the momentum with which I want to achieve it. Okay. So I need you to be able to tap in that together with me. And part of what we have done, or part of what I have done together with my team, is have some resources that can be able to help you. And one of them is the Trailblazers Journal. If you're a trailblazer and you know it, if you're just like they say, if you're happy and you know, if you're a trailblazer and you know it, okay, join your community, come on in, get the journal for yourself at only 70,000 at Media Plaza. You can be able to start a daily prayer and daily journaling and scheduling, and then you can have content as well about business, and you can be on your merry way to growth. Tears on My Pillow and Deliberately Selfish are back in stock, so you can actually get those as well. And then we are enrolling for the Coaching and Speaking Academy. That's the Accelerated Mentorship Academy. So if you are the kind that has a gift and you want to put it to use, and not just to impact lives, because that is our main goal, to impact and transform lives, but you want to make money as well, or you want to be able to profit, or you want to be able to earn out of your skill as well. This takes less than 4 months to acquire this skill, and you remain in the incubation or in the business accelerator for a whole year, just to have practicing hours, just to go into public speaking, into media, radio practicing, so that you can be a world-class public speaker, and that you can be a world-class coach or consultant or expert in whatever you do, a brand ambassador, a media personality. We can be able to look at that. I give you the full package of who I am. I mentor you into that, but at the end of the day, we certify you as a coach, and you're able to practice, you're able to change other people's lives. So if you, in case you need that, come on in as well, and make sure that you utilize the numbers on your screen, and let's get to talk more about this. Okay, so let's just briefly talk about, because we've talked about why people don't stay in their own lanes, and we talked about comparison, and we talked about people trying to be who they are not. But again, there are dangers. There are dangers in not staying in your own lane. You realize we talked about the danger of being, of accidents, okay? Like in real life. Okay, you make so many accidents because you are not in your own lane. And you know, sometimes our lanes change as we grow. Okay, they evolve, they expand as we grow. You knew yourself as this, as just a person who wanted to be employed, but all of a sudden now you are an employer, or now you're a fashion designer, you have a fashion house, or now you have a salon, or now you have a boutique, or now you have a ministry, or now you have. So you realize that you keep on changing, you keep on growing, you keep on evolving, and so does your lane. Okay, so you realize that if you don't stay in your lane, you are actually going to cause accidents. Okay, because you're going to bump into other people's lens. I don't know whether you've seen people who are critics of others and judges of others, and they never stabilize in their own lane, so they're bumping into other people's businesses, they're poking their noses where they do not belong. Like, you are accident prone. Why? Because you're not staying in your own lane. And then sometimes if we don't stay in our own lane, we don't have boundaries enough, so other people also end up bumping into our own lane. So that means you have to have to be in your own lane, and then you have to keep your boundaries strong, because some people just they think other people's lives are just like bathrooms. They crisscross whenever they want. Okay, and you don't want people doing that. Yes, you're not going to tell people totally mind your business and don't get into my business, but even when they get into your business, do not invite them or entertain them. Just keep doing your thing, and they will fall off if they want. And in case you need someone's help, yes, you can actually go to them and ask for the help. But in case someone offers unsolicited help, you can be able to tell them, this is where you end, and this is how much I can take, and this I can't actually take. Okay, so it's about being wise, not building walls and locking out everyone else, but building boundaries that are going to protect our lanes, and that we will stay within and inside our lane. So you realize accidents is one of them. and then it inhabits acceleration. Some of us have not moved at the speed that we've wanted to move in our workplaces, in our businesses, in our marriages, in our ministries. We have not moved at the speed that we want to move. Why? Because every time we are standing to pick on other people's businesses, to look what's happening, to judge, to critique. So it inhibits acceleration, where you should have run very fast, where you should have achieved a lot in this year. Before you know it, because you're like, you know what will other people say? And that's the other thing, because if you're not in your own lane, you're poking around to see what other people are saying, whether they are validating you, and if they're not validating you, then you lose the momentum and then you give up. Okay, so it inhibits acceleration. You cannot run fast for as long as you are not minded about your own lane. You're crisscrossing into people's lanes. Okay, you realize that even when it's Olympics or these normal games and people are running, you realize that on the pitch, if you start crisscrossing, they can even cancel. They can cancel you. They can tell you no, you stop at that, or take you out of the game. Why? Because you are supposed, there are particular lanes for overtaking, and they're earmarked for that. But you can't just keep crisscrossing like a mad person. You get from your lane to another lane, and then you get into another lane, and then you get into another lane, and then you get, like, without any sense of order. No, you can't do that. They will actually take you out. And you realize that even the Bible talks about not particularly lanes, but it talks about that if you're called and you're not called, that God will spit you out of his mouth. That means that God wants a sense of clarity about who you are. Are you for me? Are you not for me? Are you cold or are you warm? Decide, okay? You cannot be both, okay? You can't. That I will spit you out of my mouth. If you are cold, decide and be cold. If you are warm, hot, decide and be hot. And so many of us are in places, two places at the same time, or so many of us are, and that is why we are not growing. And if we are growing in a very slow way. Why? Because we don't have full concentration. Why? Because we are not staying in our lanes. Why? Because acceleration demands that you are laser focused. Acceleration demands that you are running at your own pace, okay? Acceleration demands that you're not going as a bandwagon. Otherwise, if you go as a bandwagon, other people are going to delay you, okay? They're going to slow you down. You cannot hold on to everyone. And others, because we fear too much, we have decided to come with a whole village instead of showing up in our own lanes and getting onto our marks and getting ready and set and going, okay? And some of us, when they get to a time of, get on your marks, get set, go. Others, we are looking behind to see whether other people are running. And so if they are not running, we are not running. I told you this is not a conference call. Whatever you are here on earth to do, whatever business, whatever growth, whatever success, whatever significance, you're not here to achieve it as a bandwagon. As a community, yes, we can work together. I love community. I love community so much, okay? That the community of the trailblazers, the community of the gladiators, and the community of the coaches, the community of beyond success, people that have given their lives to transform others. But you realize we come into the community so that we can keep burning. But each one of us, when someone tells me that, oh, I desire to be a healing coach, stay in your lane. I desire to be a teen coach, stay in your lane. I desire to be a coach who helps people with their finances, stay in your lane, okay? Run your race. People have to identify you for something. But we are here because you are a finance coach and you're busy looking at the healing coaches and, the teens coaches and, parenting coaches, and you want to run at the same speed with them. That's not going to happen. Run your own speed, but make sure that it does not inhibit your acceleration by looking at everyone else. And just like I said, social media has not made it easy at all. We are busy looking at others and we're like, okay, when they post, I will post, and they do this, I will do it. And sometimes it serves their business, it does not serve you, but you are copying and pasting. That means you're not authentic, and it's just not helping, okay? So I need you to be able to check that, and then it requires assistance. Do you know that in order for you to stay in your lane, if you fail to stay in your lane, then you need helpers to panel beat you. I've told you I helped myself, and I think I've talked about it before. before and say that I do not wait for God's vengeance. I do not wait for God's correction. I try to course correct every single minute to see that I am coming back on the lane. That even when I do something that I feel, okay, I look at, because I'm a human being, I look at someone and maybe critique or judge, and I know that it's not what it's supposed to be. I will panel beat myself and say, you know what, God, help me. I need to focus, and I will focus. But so many of us get taken up so many times, okay? So you realize that you require assistance every time that you will be, you know, someone will panel beat you, someone will panel beat you. And that is why I usually tell people that when you come to me as a therapist, when you come to me as a coach, my job and what I have loved so many times is to give you the tools that you will be able to even self-coach in the event that you bump into any other problem or into any other hurdles. I don't want to be the alpha and the omega of your life, because that's unrealistic. I want to give you the tools to equip you so that you can problem solve, so that you can coach yourself out of some of these problems and hurdles, so that you can help yourself. So you realize that you'll be able to prompt yourself. You'll be able to ask yourself good questions, constructive questions. You'll give yourself feedback. And when you get good feedback or negative feedback, you'll be able to take it in and be able to better yourself. Why? You realize that if you don't stay in your lane, so many things are dying. It inhibits your growth and your acceleration, okay? And it's just not helping when it comes to you having assistance all the time, and you don't want to have that for the rest of your life. You actually want to be in a place where you can be able to steer the course, and you can be able to talk yourself into it. You can motivate yourself. You can get certain things done. And when you need more help, you can look for it. But again, you don't need constant help like children every time. Sit properly, sit on the chair. Don't jump, don't do this. No, that's a bad thing as an adult to actually experience that kind of thing. So you realize that it benefits you to stay in your lane. It gives you a lot of peace of mind, that this is, I am focused on this. And so many times when we focus on to other people's things, our things actually get spoiled. So you're like, you know what, I'm focused on this. This is my productivity. This is what I want for my job and the things that I am doing. This is what I want for my calling. This is what I want for my family. This is what you set your own things. You can learn lessons from elsewhere. You can be inspired from elsewhere, but you set your own things and say, okay, I really need the peace of mind. And the peace of mind that I can get is by laser focusing, staying in my lane, and not disturbing my mind too much and giving it too much to digest. And yet I am one single human being with one functioning brain. And I don't need, with just two arms, everything on me is limited. And so I can only do so much. I'm not going to spread myself so thin to take what concerns other people. I am just going to carry my load, and I'm just going to concentrate on my lane. Let me tell you, it is so sweet. It gives you peace in your marriage, because you will never compare your husband, you will never compare your wife, you will never compare your children. You'll be like, these are the people God has blessed me with, and these are the people for which I am very responsible, and so I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure my family is happy. I'm going to make sure to do everything in my power to make sure that my ministry thrives. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that I get my job done in time. I'm going to do everything possible to make sure that my body is well catered for. You get a lot of peace of mind, okay? And I want you to know one thing is, no man is a threat. No man is a threat. Everyone is running their own race, and everyone has their own lane. So you're saying, why is she growing fast? Why is she? And people get so worked out, okay? And people spend sleepless nights. Why do you think people go to shrines to bewitch other people? It's because they are not happy. It's because they see other people as threats. No one is a threat. No one is a threat. Everyone is minding their own business, and everyone is in their own lane. And they're minding their food, they're minding their own future, they're minding their own education, they're minding their own families, they're minding their own. So everything they're trying to do, they're not out there to get you. No, you got it wrong. They are out there to build their own empires. They're out there to build their own families, to build their own businesses, and to thrive in their job. They are there, they want to do, but you are here looking at everyone that is expanding. No, my expansion does not mean you're shrinking. No, it can be both our expansion. You can expand while I expand. Why do we think that one thing has to be on stop or one thing has to be on pause in order for another thing to grow? That one lane has to be, running slow in order for another lane to run faster. We can both run faster. Let's see who gets to the finishing line. Let's who gets there faster. For me, it's not even about how fast I get there or who gets there fast. For me, it's a matter of I will get there and I need to get there, okay? And in my own timing and in God's timing, because he says he makes things beautiful in his time, okay? So he perfects my things. He makes my things beautiful in his time. I would rather run on the calendar of God. I would rather stay on the lane that God designed for me, because then it's not going to break me. It's a lane that I will be passionate about. It's a lane that I will love. It's a lane that was meant for me. It was tailor-made. It was a custom-made for me. But so many of us have transplanted ourselves. It's like a tree transplanting yourself from the source of water, and you go to a desert because you saw everyone was going to a desert. What's wrong with some of us? What's wrong? Okay? You don't have to do things because people are doing them. Ask yourself, is this what I am meant to do? Is this what God called me to do? Is this the assignment I have on earth? Is this why I am alive? Is this why I've not yet died and other people have died? If I can only ask myself the crucial questions, then I will know that no one is a threat in this world. My husband is not a threat. My wife is not a threat. My children are not a threat. My friends are not threats. They can grow and I can grow. Why do I think that they have to stop growing in order for me to grow? That is very selfish, and that is being very insecure, and that is being antagonistic, and that is being very toxic. Okay, there is a blessing for every one of us. Okay, and that's why I usually say that glass ceilings are there to be broken. Otherwise, they wouldn't be glass. Okay? So when you see someone breaking a glass ceiling, and then you're like, but why did she's just a woman. But she's just, and then we label people. Why? Because of jealous, because of insecurities. And that means we have paused on our running. We are not minding our own business, and we are stepping out of our lens so that we can see what is happening with other people. Come back to your lane and stay in your own lane, okay? So no man is a threat, and no business is a threat. No other marriage is a threat to yours, no. One marriage doesn't have to die in order for one marriage to thrive, no. All marriages can thrive together. Someone doesn't have to look bad in order for you to look good. You can look good together. There is enough room for everyone to shine, okay? So you limit yourself by having akasajja kumutima and holding on and fighting other people's successes, fighting other people's significance, wanting for you to be significant. That's not going to happen. The only way you are significant is by giving another person's hand, to hold them, to lift them up, to encourage them, to motivate them, to inspire them, and to show them it's still possible, it's achievable, and you can still run. You can still run. It doesn't matter when you get there, you can still achieve your goals. Is by you being a cheerleader of people's dreams, okay? So no man is a threat. And what it does help you is you excel in your capabilities. You excel in your capabilities. Sometimes we want to carry on. Just imagine at a workplace, and I'll just give a simple example about my arena, because I'm in broadcasting. And so you realize that we have so many segments. We have those, the creatives, we have the producers, we have, the sales team, we have the administrative team. So you realize that everyone has capabilities. Now, staying in your lane is making sure that you maximize those capabilities. That you do not shift lane and say, you know what, I'm a producer, but I'm going to do the work of the creatives, okay? Because that is not your lane. You're actually going to misfire. It's not going to help. So when we say mind your business, stay in your lane, we are saying you have capabilities. Can you maximize those capabilities? Can you maximize your zone of genius? Can you maximize your calling and why you were called? Because you were the one gifted, you were the one called to do this, okay? If you're the on-air talent and then say, then I'm just going to produce myself, you're spreading yourself so thin, okay? And then you're not going to nail anything. You're going to leave everything haphazard, or even quarter hazard, or zero hazard. I don't know what that means or what that looks like. So I need us to be able to step back into our own lane so that we can excel in that which we have skill, and that which we are called to do, and that which we are passionate about, and that which we find is to do. Because my goodness, you want to flow. I promised myself, I'm not at the age where I am a very grown woman. I am not at an age where I should seek for validation. I am not at an age where I should flow against the current. What's flowing is flowing, and what's not flowing is not mine, okay? And that's the end of it, okay? I will work hard at where I'm gifted. I will work hard at where I'm called. I will work hard at what I can focus on, what is mine, and I will make do, and I will make marvelous things with it. And sometimes we see people running in their own lens, and it looks so beautiful. It looks so beautiful because they're consistent. It looks beautiful because they're showing up. It looks beautiful because they love what they're doing. It looks beautiful because they're not looking for validation. It looks beautiful. You know, when you're minding your own business, you look beautiful. Instead of asking everyone for validation, when you mind your own business, you look beautiful, and your business could be your calling. And that is why I usually tell people that, you know what, finding your purpose is the best thing that could ever happen to any human being. When you find your purpose, everything aligns. When you find your purpose, your marriage falls in place, your children fall, your work, everything that you do falls in place. It brings an immense happiness that you never thought was even you were able to do. And I say it so many times that God tied up all our happiness and fulfillment in our contribution. And our contribution is by finding our purpose, knowing what we are passionate about, and putting all our strength into that and making it our lane. When you run in a lane that you love, you will love it. Say, for example, if lanes were to be painted and you paint yours, let me see, I love dull colors. I love black. I think black is my color. So if it were my lane, I think I would paint it black. So while other people are painting shining colors and neon colors, I would paint mine black, and I'll be so confident running in my black lane. Why? Because I am minding my own business. I have found my purpose, and I am soaking myself. I'm immersing myself in it and making my contribution to the world, and it's unforgettable. It pays handsomely, and it fulfills, and it brings happiness. And the ability to focus, when you are crisscrossing between lanes, you are not focusing. But the ability to focus on what you are supposed to do, what is ahead of you, that is unimaginable. And that is a productivity hack that increases your impact, that, you know, takes away all the stress, and actually that gives you the ability of focusing on your strengths and your passions. Guys, if I begin talking about staying in your lane, I think I can speak for the whole day. But I believe that you have been able to know that, you know what, let me zero down what my lane is, and let me run in the direction of my dreams. I love you, and from me to you is stay blessed.